My name is Mike Kindleberger. I'm the president of TJM Express Incorporated. So the business that we operate is as a FedEx independent contractor. We operate in 5 different states, have about 120 trucks on the road every day, and right around 180 employees. So I came from corporate America, and my last job with Walgreens, I supervised 2,500 people. When you go and start opening your own business, you realize that you don't necessarily have that department head in HR or benefits, where you didn't necessarily have to be the subject matter expert, but you were able to go to a staff meeting and you get the 10,000 foot overview. When you open and start your own business, you are the subject matter expert. So there were a lot of challenges where we were dealing with minutia and weren't necessarily able to really focus on the actual operation of the business. So that was probably our biggest challenge as we started up. So the day-to-day operations when we first started was getting the business off the ground, learning the FedEx business itself, but then also being able to make sure that we were providing support for our employees from an engagements perspective, from, again, just pay perspective, benefit perspective. So we were doing a lot of surveys to make sure we were doing what our employees were asking us to do. When it came to starting up the business, like, we had all had that corporate experience. We knew how to run a business, but I think there's a lot of different things you don't think about when you run a business as opposed to starting up the business. Like I had said previously, we focused on the operation, and we wanted to focus more so on the operation so that we could become that best-in-class operation, but we were focusing on how to actually start up a business and how to run a business. We were doing a lot of recruiting and hiring, and unfortunately, we were becoming like a transient employer because we didn't necessarily have that good mix of what our employees wanted. So that was probably the most challenging part of the first 2 years or so. Absolutely was employee engagement and the turnover aspect. We thought we were doing a good job supporting our team members. We thought we were doing what we needed to do to offer them competitive benefits and things like that. But until we really started looking at it and doing some exit interviewing, we realized we were missing the mark on that. The major issues that we uncovered that required us to go outside of our comfort zone was the fact that we were having a high level of turnover. And it was, as we did some exit interviewing, we realized we weren't offering the employees what they truly needed for it to become a long-term position for them. Again, we were trying to get away from that transient experience where someone would come with us, work 7, 8 months, and then go find something else. We wanted to build that core group of employees, and we realized that we were falling short when it comes to certain benefits and just that overall quality of job. So the most appealing part about GMS for me, from a partnership aspect, is the word support. Like I said, coming from corporate America, I was able to have department heads who I was able to bounce decisions off of, ideas and things like that. When you're in a small business, you are HR, you are the benefit department, you're everything. So the best part about working with GMS is I have Christy, who's my account rep. I have Brian, who works for me with workers' comp and things like that. We talk with Tom Amato when we have legal issues. And it's just the support that I get from the totality of GMS has really made the partnership. It's made us be able to focus on the actual business and operations itself while having their support to make sure that we're doing the best for our employees. The essential services that GMS offering, so number one, I would tell you it's the recruiting and the hiring aspect. In our corporation, our turnover is between 20 and 30%, which some people would think that's high, but in the FedEx world, that's about 4 times less than the average company. I think a lot of that comes because of the partnership that we have with GMS and the hiring and the screening and such that they do for us. We're able to do that across the 5 states and all the terminals, and that's just makes that transition easier for the employee. The second thing is when it comes to workers' comp issues. I work with a guy named Brian DeSantis quite a bit, and workers' comp can be very difficult. When you're a small business, it's you against the state sometimes, and Brian provides that support for us. And again, from a knowledge aspect, he's way more knowledgeable than I am, but he's also that person that I can go to and bounce questions off where I is it okay if we do this, or what's the next step? And I just appreciate that. From a benefit perspective, we work with GMS, we work with Amy and Christy Rittenauer. They do a tremendous job of rolling out benefits on a yearly basis, making sure that the benefits we offer from year to year are a little bit better every year, and our employees appreciate that as well. So the partnership itself has given us the opportunity from a cost perspective and able to offer better benefits. When we first joined up with GMS, we were using other payroll companies and we were trying to provide benefits, but at a cost that honestly wasn't realistic for our employees. When we worked with GMS, especially on the workers' comp thing, it it brought costs so far down that we were able to go into another tier of healthcare, which again, that was just a win-win, and it was able to reduce our overall turnover. So that's probably the biggest help for us. And it's something that we, like I said, we can continue to evolve each and every year. The advice I would give to small business owners is that you can't do it all yourself. If you're gonna do this all yourself, you're gonna fail. You have to surround yourself with a good network. And again, I use that word support when I talk to GMS and I talk about GMS. They provide the support that you need when you're making those difficult decisions, because you're out there on an island as a business owner. And if you make one bad decision, it could end up potentially becoming a legal issue. And again, that's why it's with whether it's an HR issue or a benefit issue or whatever, the support that you get from GMS, you're not on that island. You have that partnership and they treat you truly like a partner. I would absolutely recommend GMS. Like I said, my number one, whenever I talk to different customers, and I think now we've helped set up some partnership with other companies in GMS, and I tell them it's the support that you need.